Hello and welcome to my stream today, where I'm going to be playing some Frontline, as you can see in the background already. Let me just turn on the volume. Haha. Today, I am big. Yeah. Let me just log in. And become small. Small. Welcome to TV Has a Cold. I will be sniffling a lot today, just as a warning. It has gotten slightly worse than yesterday, it is what it is. But it's mostly fine. It's just annoying, really. Shoo. I'm gonna have to put down the tail. I'm sorry. But otherwise we just can't see shit. I'm probably actually gonna have to make myself a little bit smaller still. Wait. Campaign. Mirror stage. Let's go. Chapter 1, the real. We were going down one path at first. Just going down this one path and then gonna do the rest. So we're now at Chimera Points to the Light 3. Bullets hit the ground behind us. While we're still outside of the accurate firing distance, our pursuers are clearly able to catch up to us. Down the line. Down the line takes control of the closest pair of airstrips chasing us. It's obvious that our stamina is being taxed to its limits. I'll take you all on. Rip and tear. Stop. Don't be reckless. Any runs left, go? The air team is deep within the enemy formation, on the verge of being overrun. If I can't think of a way to get us out of this, they'll swamp us all. Hey, it's Villa Perosa. It's a really weird, quote-unquote, machine gun. Greetings, Commander. Who's that? We're out of rounds and they've even hacked our comms. Please do not worry. We are Squad Griffin, sent here to pick you up in accordance with the mission directives. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm VP 1915, Villa Perosa, but you can call me Perosa. So we do have a pickup. How can you prove that? The Earl said you would understand once you saw the seal. Perosa holds a wax seal up to the communicator. It is imprinted with the image of a mighty griffin bearing its claws, surrounded by intricate designs. It is exactly like the one my mission document I received. So it's the Earl, I see. According to the intel provided by the Earl, these Paradise forces are only active on the outskirts of the city. They seem to be prohibited from entering the city area. Derringer and Savage are coming over to support you. I'll guide you remotely to help you shake off your pursuers. Alright, so those two... Just as the commander contemplates the next move, the sounds of unfamiliar gunfire erupts from behind them. Picking up IFF signals belonging to two high-end IOP dolls, but they're not on the Griffin base roster. Hi, Commander. This doesn't seem like the best time for a chat. We're here to lend you a hand, Commander. They've arrived, Commander. Now please run toward the slope at 1 o'clock as quickly as you can. They're only two dolls. Will they be alright? Please have faith in my judgment. The two unfamiliar dolls exchange smiles. Their fighting stances show that they're fully in sync with each other. Leave this place to us. Please do as Perosa directs and head into the city proper. Got it. Let's not waste any more time. Everyone to the city. In a hidden patch of forest, a petite figure grits her teeth as she watches the commander's party flee to the city area with the help of Squad Griffin. What? They're fleeing in that direction, but Big Sis won't let me go there. They're going to escape just like that, and all I can do is watch. Why is this happening? How am I going to explain this to Big Sis? How? They're well turned to the city. Shall we continue giving chase? The girl turns and sends the White Knight flying with a slap. The Black Knight standing beside her trembles in fear, not daring to look at the White Knight's head as it rolls past the feet. Chase? You are nothing but a pack of stupid dogs. All you can do is bark and chase. Hurry up and find out who the hell met up with them. After not getting a response for a long time, the girl angrily picks up the White Knight's corpse. What's the matter? Cat got your... Oh? Where's the head? Trash is trash. One slap and your head's gone. The girl disdainfully discards the White Knight's corpse. The Black Knight is standing nearby, falls to her knees and dares not move. You. Yes? Do you know your mission? Yes, I do. Make sure you do a good job and don't disappoint me, or else. The girl pats the Black Knight on the head jovially. I won't disappoint you. The Black Knight practically flees from her, leaving the little girl to glare at the commander's group as they recede into the distance. Not bad. You're pretty pathetic in a fight, but you do run very fast. Don't get too cocky. We'll meet again. And when we do, I'm going to twist your spine into a pretzel. We do have another news report, but at the same time, I don't know if we want to do that already, because we have so many story notes that we haven't actually continued yet. So I'm going to leave the news report till later. Shoulders of a Griffin. Berlin. With the help of two unfamiliar dolls, we successfully enter the city proper. Upon entering the bustling urban districts, another unfamiliar girl makes her way through the crowds, heading towards us. Phew. Greetings, Commander. Perosa. We finished our mission, Perosa. You're... I'm VP 1915, Villa Perosa. We just spoke over the communicator. Just call me Perosa. Thank you for the help. Just doing our job. Now, please allow me to formally introduce my teammates. This is Derringer, our squad's electronic warfare expert. Want some candy? This is Savage 99, our designated marksman. Nice to meet you, Commander. Nice to meet you too. So what's going on here? How did the Earl know we would be there at that time? This way, please. Faced with the barrage of the Commander's questions, the dog called Perosa merely smiles. I don't think she intends to answer you, Commander. Then I'll just have to ask the Earl myself. Led by Squad Griffin, the Commander enters the Old Town district and arrives before a certain building. Its exterior is mottled from the passage of long years, but its classical proportions are still enough to make one stop to marvel at it. Wow, this place looks really grand. This is it. I'll get the door. Derringer hops lightly up the stairs and grabs the handle. Huh? Why won't it budge? Let me take a look. Squad Griffin inspects the door more closely. Hey, hey, hey! Are you the ones trying to get in without passing the Earl's test? Colibri, don't be rude. My apologies, Commander. The two are members of Mr. Griffin's Alliance Protection Detail, Colibri and Featheroff. Nice concrete prefab apartment blocks. I think it's more about the building in the foreground here. You sure took your time. Nice to meet you too. I'm Featheroff. Nice to meet you too. So, what do I need to do in order to meet the Earl? Featheroff, you explain. Alright. Let me do it. If you want to meet the Earl, you need to solve the code lock on the door by yourself. The prefab buildings kind of run the view. They do. They do. Welcome to Berlin. Isn't that quite the intricate device? If we try to break it by force, we might damage the building. My apologies, Commander. The door lock has been engaged. If you wish to enter, you must solve it. Alright, so all I need to do is open this lock then. Yes, you do have to solve this puzzle, Commander. Perosa slides open the panel on the door, revealing the mechanism within. The Commander walks up and studies it carefully. Hang on. Ah. Motherfucker. Yeah. Sorry, thank you. This is gonna happen a few times. I see. I understand what they want, but it's mildly annoying. So. This is actually mildly annoying. Huh? Wait, what? Every move flips the 4 markers around you, but not the marker you're standing on. Well, it didn't, though. Whack. That is honestly pretty easy right now. Just move it to the right and do it again. Hey hey. How's everyone doing today, by the way? As we're just going through this first combat mission. As that, I have a cold, so it's a mild annoyance. But it's fine. I hope you are all doing fine, though. Ta-da! I am in a decentish mood. Slept all day, very sleepy recently. Probably vitamin D again. Good. Yes, I guess. Personally, I'm super tired. I know why I'm super tired. It has to do with the cold and also the fact that I did not get enough sleep over the past 2 days. But it's fine. It is fine. I had yourself tested last winter and was critically low on it. That sucks. Shoulders on Griffin 3. Berlin. As the lock disengages with a click, the door of the building slowly opens. Several lights come on within the dark room. The holographic image of a man appears on the doorway. Good afternoon, Commander. Good day, sir. You seem a little stiff, Commander. Well, not every Griffin Commander has a chance to meet you in person. I've heard my fair share of rumors about you. Rumors are just that. Rumors. Right now, I'm just an old man performing some insignificant administrative work. You can think of me as an ordinary senior citizen, Commander. We are much closer than you imagine. But how can I do that, sir? After all, you're... Just call me Griffin, Commander. I hope we can be less formal around each other while we're in the private. Alright, Mr. Griffin. While this is a memorable first meeting, I regret I can only speak to you in this manner. I hope you are not too offended. No, of course not. Thank you for being so understanding, Commander. I too have heard a lot about you. At first, I thought someone like yourself, who has been on the battlefield many times, would have the indelible scent of bloodthirst and murder about them. But it seems to me that you are simply a kind and polite young person. I've not been through a fraction of what you have experienced, and I do not wish to become like my enemies. Ha! Do pardon the ramblings of an old man. I'm simply delighted to see you. Krug has always had a good eye for talents, and I have always favored useful and capable individuals. Please excuse this bad habit of mine. Sir? Ah, yes, please. Sit down. No need to be so stiff. Let us move to the main subject, Commander. Of course. Now then, before we begin. Commander, I believe you have already encountered this person. Indeed. I have found Maclean. However, there are many things about her which do not match the data provided. Before conclusive evidence available, I would not recommend considering her and the person in the picture to be one and the same. Griffin smiles. You are a sharp one, Commander. Kruger's opinion of you was not inflated. Indeed, the person in the picture is not the Maclean whom you've met. Rather, she is a Paradeus agent who was planted by Angie's side in Bremen. She stole the name of Mordo and infiltrated our government. For the sake of convenience, let's continue calling her Mordo. So is Maclean Mordo? Or are they two identical-looking women? That is what I hope you will find out. I have also arranged a consultant for you regarding this problem. A consultant. I believe you will be very happy to fight side by side with Captain Angelia Tsoy. Angie, she's a brilliant too. Perhaps it is time for you to finally... Perhaps it is time the two of you finally met. I'm sure you have a lot to ask about Bremen and Mordo. Alright, I see. Thank you. Truth be told, Angie is my most reliable friend. Indeed. Your most reliable friends are so often found by your side, Commander. After the two of you compare notes, you can become a capable agent for us in Berlin. You want me to investigate Paradeus' plans for Germany? You should begin by looking into Maclean. I believe your efforts will be fruitful. I imagine you've already noticed the anomalies in Bonestorf. The villagers seem to be worshipping Maclean in a strange fashion. Their religious and cult-like behavior certainly matches up with Paradeus' modus operandi. Their sermons also validate my suspicions. Paradeus' influence is spreading, and I'm sure it is already deeply rooted. What else have you learned? Also, that's Maclean, or should I say, Mordo? Or whatever her real identity is. It seems Paradeus values her greatly. When we were fleeing with her, not only did the villagers come out and force to stop us, Paradeus also dispatched a large number of troops to cut off our escape. That was definitely not an act. The fixation of Maclean is genuine. Apart from information about Maclean, our previous recon attempts even uncovered the presence of a high-ranking Knighter. However, she did not engage us directly during the latest confrontation. Whatever the reason, they were very unwilling to let Maclean fall into our hands. Fortunately, we chose to infiltrate them and managed to safely extract them by taking advantage of the enemy's slack security measures. You have done very well, Commander. Kruger was right about you. You served up quite a surprise for your first mission. Thank you for the praise. Since Maclean is so important to Paradeus, we can make full use of the importance they attach to her in order to gain more leads. I give you full discretion over how to handle this matter, Commander. I can think of nobody else who is as reliable and understands Paradeus as well as you do. I understand. Paradeus activities are growing more frequent throughout Germany. The incident in Bremen was only one of many cases. Especially now that Bloody William has finally managed to extend his claws to Berlin. What is this William person like? I came here to look into this very matter. All we know from his actions is that he is very highly placed, otherwise there is no way to explain how he can mobilize so many resources. I still do not know what he is planning, but I am certain that he will stop at no means to disrupt our endeavors. He has even orchestrated several terrorist attacks towards that end. I will spare no efforts in my investigations. But if we end up having to face Paradeus head-on like we did before, I fear our current forces are somewhat insufficient. I would very much like to personally provide you with support. However, my current duties will not permit me to do so, which is why I seek your understanding and forgiveness, Commander. I will not let the opportunities created by your previous efforts go to waste. You flatter me. Still, I will assist you to the best of my ability. I hope you enjoy the temporary command post I have prepared for you. The facilities here are quite comprehensive, and you make free use of everything here. In addition, Perosa, you and Squad Griffin will be under the commander's authority from now on. I want you to give the commander your full support in all future operations. Yes, sir. Thank you for your help. However, I do not know if I can stop Paradeus' schemes by myself. Nevertheless, I believe you will try with all you might. That's the way you've always done it, no? Do not underestimate yourself, Commander. The things you have accomplished would be miracles in the eyes of others. I understand. Something still seems to be weighing on your mind. I might be mistaken, but could it be that I have not yet won your trust? No, how could it be? It's just, perhaps going through so much has left me a little high-strung. It is good to be suspicious, and I am willing to use my actions to help quell your suspicions. Kruger has mentioned your opinions many times before. Perhaps we might not be completely in alignment, but our ideals are one and the same. To be the shining beacon in a brave new world? Everything we do is for the future of ourselves and this world. Still, I spent a lot of time thinking when I learned that our company had the same motto as the Rosa Trist movement. What do you think about it? I thought about what I ought to be doing. How I could help our country, our society, and our free itself, and a world free itself from the crappy circumstances we're in. A revolutionary needs an appropriate philosophy. I believe we will get along very well. I'm not too sure about that, Mr. Griffin. Rossitrism paints a beautiful picture of the world, but can people really unite and understand each other? Perhaps I shouldn't keep you in the dark. Do you know what... do you want to know how I truly feel about this? Please, by all means. My answer is, they cannot. Men will never be able to stand united or understand each other forever. What? That is why the world needs order. It needs rule that will force them to unite, to guide them towards understanding each other. Those who cause division must be punished. Those who help each other must be rewarded. Only the existence of such behavior-shaping rules will allow mankind to right its wrongs and return the world to its intended order. Mr. Rossatra was a great pioneer, but he was an idealist. Idealism cannot help us build an ideal world. We must take responsibility for the consequences of our actions. We must build a world that benefits all of humanity, and to that end, we will pay any price. And it will be up to you to build and dictate the order of the world. It is the heart of the man that decides the world of the world. We are merely servants in mankind's interests. The answer is a little different from what I expected. Speaking the truth is the best way of dealing with intelligent people. If slogans alone could bring about world revolutions, then why would we need to speak to each other here? I have one last question. Go ahead. When we reach the end of this road and look back on the things we've sacrificed to get there, will justice and decency be among them? Commander, do you know what fables are? Fables? The hedgehog who serves the absolute truth reduces the world to one organizing principle, raises his spines all over, and staunchly resists all other views. The cunning and mercurial fox rides the waves of tumultuous times, narrowing his eyes and discerning the discordant voices that can reshape the world. The hedgehog and the fox, it sounds more like philosophy. I will not clarify your doubts right now, just as I do not expect you to clarify mine, either. But someday, you'll make a choice of your own. Perhaps. In that case, I hope you will bring us good news, Commander. I have an important meeting that I need to attend, so I will bid you farewell for now. Yes, sir. Griffin executes a gentlemanly bow and switches off the holographic projection. The commander's eyes fall into the chessboard layout on the table. What kind of game awaits him this time? Maybe some Berlin too. Commander, I just received an encrypted message. Got it. I take the communicator from her and play back the message. Hi, Commander. Long time no see. A familiar face appears on the communicator, though Angie looks a lot more haggard than before. Though for some reason it feels incredibly comforting to see someone I know I can count on. By the time you see this message, you'll probably have met that guy. I'm sure you're bursting with questions, so am I. So come and meet me, Commander. I'll be waiting for you at the Athena Zal at 3 PM today. And just to make it clear, I hate people who don't show up on time. Alright. That part actually ended. So, let's go back to the start. Now, I'm actually really curious how exactly everything plays out. And also, especially so, because in a week, exactly 7 days, Ghost Frontline 2 comes out. And, I'm definitely going to be playing it. It'll be interesting. An arrow in flight. Here you must rid yourself of any hesitation. Fear gets you nowhere. "12? Where am I?" The head is so sluggish it feels like it had cement poured in. Even reaching for a thought sends a jab of sharp pain through her head, as her very brain is being shredded. She calls out to her second in command out of reflex in the dark, but naturally she receives no response. A sudden noise pierces her eardrums like a sharp needle. The ceaseless ringing in her ears transports her back to that fateful day buried deep in her memory. She no longer remembers. How many times has she recalled the events of that day? Come on, Papa. She remembers now. This isn't the Neo-Soviet Union. Smart. No. Flashbacks to her childhood. And his violent writhing sends water splashing out of the bucket, flooding the floor of the interrogation room. Her two arms are tied to separate posts, her bionic arm restrained by a steel chain, her other by a rough piece of rope, which scrapes against the skin on her wrist every time she struggles. The flax-colored rope is soaked in crimson, and when the blood dries, it turns black. Did she just lose consciousness briefly? Not only did she pass out, she even recalled past events. How humiliating. I'm asking you again, Angelia. The cause man pulls Angie's head out of the bucket of water by the hair of for the fourth time and bellows her into their ear. Why have you come to Germany? Fuck you. Angie spits viciously. You bitch. And his face is shoved once again into the water. Enough. The other interrogator interjects, giving Angie a brief moment of respite. But even so, it still feels to Angie that her bones are on the verge of falling apart. A lean man walks up to her and squats down. In his hands are a small knife and a sharpening steel, which he rubs against each other rhythmically as he approaches. The sound of scraping metal sends chills down Angie's spine. Her fringe is soaking wet and sticking to her forehead, but it does not obscure her vision. Are you still with us? What's your name? Elizabeth Schwarzkopf. Why have you come to Germany? To travel and to climb the Reichstag building. That's one of the top of 3 things of all the Soviet wants to do, don't you know? I wonder why. Angelia. A hard rod knocks Angie in the back of her neck. Her vision darkens for a second. She almost passed out again. Caffrey, I'm asking her questions. But... The burly man looks a bit disgruntled, but he still puts away his rod reluctantly. Look, Angie. I know you were very well trained, but your lack of cooperation does neither of us any good. The man leans in close until his savage face is mere inches away from Angie. His voice is more coarse and gravelly than before. Angie glances at the scars in his face and the knife in his hand. Is this how the Stasi treat their guests? We always show great hospitality to our guests, but we also show no mercy to our enemies. He rests the blade against Angie's cheek and leans in even closer. You started a large-scale riot on German territory, and you ruthlessly murdered a public servant working for the German government. For the last time, Morido is a Paradise spy. Nobody can verify that, Angelia. From our point of view, after a government worker boarded a plane with you, she was thrown out of the aircraft with no protective measures. Her fate is still unknown. This is murder, Angelia. You murdered Morido. Bullshit. You're making up this load of crap just so you can hold me captive. You really need to sort out your priorities, you know? Seemingly unaware of the blade pressed against a pale, emaciated face, Angie's eyes are still sharp like a hawk's. You don't actually give a damn about one stupid secretary. You're just looking for an excuse to detain me, and now you finally have it. The man taps the knife against Angie's face and gestures to the burly man behind her. No one asked your opinion. Another excruciating blow lands on Angie's back. The blow catches Angie by surprise, and she starts coughing violently. Thick globs of blood drip from her lips onto the bucket, infusing the dirty water. Was the water this dirty to begin with, or did the filth actually come from her? She can't remember. She has even lost track of how long she's been here. You're the one to speak your minds, and so am I. The man narrows his eyes. Tell me, Angelia, what did you see on the lower levels of the submarine base? Tell me, and I'll guarantee your safety. Now that the man has finally asked the $1,000,000 question, Angie lowers her head and starts snickering. Not so funny, bitch. This. I had to watch Mordo slip out of my fingers for this. For you filthy and pointless power struggle. Go to hell, fuckers. Angie spits a mouthful of blood on the man's face. The man's face instantly contorts with rage. He tosses the sharpening steel into the bucket. You'd better pray this won't leave any scars. I have a whole collection. Stop right there, that's quite enough. The heavy metal door opens a crack, letting in slivers of light into this dark room. The man stops immediately. The tip of the blade pierces the skin on Angel's left cheek. A drop of blood seeps through and rolls down. The woman who came in abruptly waves wordlessly at the interrogators. The two men, who were boiling with rage just seconds ago, collect themselves right away, give a curt nod, and stand aside. Two men in suits walk up from behind the woman and untie Angel's restraints. They hoist her up like ragdoll and drag her roughly towards the door. What do you want with me? Nobody answers her. She has no choice but to let the two men take her out of the room. Before she can get a good look at her surroundings, a sack goes over her head. And just shoved brusquely from behind and crashes onto the floor like a sandbag. A door closes behind her. They moved her somewhere else. She can't see a thing. Her recently untied hands are now cuffed again. She struggles to roll onto her back and finally manages to sit up. She tries to remove the sack over her head. Angie? While Angie's still writhing around, her hand stretches out and pulls the sack off her head. An anxious A94 comes into view. 94? Angie, you are very badly injured. 94 picks up Angie with practiced ease and puts her down gently on the sofa. Only then does Angie notice she has been moved into an ordinary room. It is clean and even furnished. At least it certainly doesn't look like an interrogation chamber. I'm fine. Where are the others? I don't know. We've been locked up separately the whole time. I only got brought here minutes ago. Before they can say more, the door opens again. Have you considered getting a pair of bionic limbs yourself? 12. 94. Angie! AK-12 smirk finishes the moment that she sees Angie. What the hell have you done to her, you bastards? She spins around, ready to unleash her wrath on whoever brought her here, only to find that the door is shut once again. 12. Calm down. Angie raises her voice to stop AK-12, but the effort ends up tearing a wound open. She collapses into another coughing bout. Take it easy, Angie. You look like hell. We have to get out of here. She needs medical treatment. You're right, but I have a feeling this isn't over yet. There must be a reason why they're suddenly putting us back together. The door opens a third time, revealing a hulking figure. 15. Get in. AK-15 enters the room in silence, followed by the wily RPK. Oh wow, the whole gang is here. Are we taking one last family photo before facing the firing squad? Firing squad? You think we're about to be executed in secret? Why else would they suddenly bring us all together? Well, they can suck it. 15, did you pass by any armories on your way here? No, but I saw a few armed guards on patrol. Good enough! We'll each get ourselves a gun and shoot our way out of here. You're in charge of carrying Angie. It's not like you can be of much use anyway. Ouch, how mean. Enough. Angie sits up on the sofa. I haven't told them anything. Even if they're going to execute us, it won't be anytime soon. Not to mention how their attitude changed so abruptly. I'm guessing there's been some unexpected developments. Unexpected developments. Before Angie can answer, the door opens again. The woman that brought Angie out of the interrogation chamber appears before her once again. What now? You may leave. We have arranged temporary accommodation for you. From now on, Angelia, you may not leave Berlin. You must stay as your designated accommodation and observe curfew rules. Effective until our investigation concludes. So I'm being placed under house arrest. Is that really necessary? You may go. Now, this instant. Not bothering to answer even a single question, the female official seems extremely impatient. It's almost as if she can't wait to be rid of them. Angie exchanges puzzled looks with the dolls, but before she can say anything, they are all escorted out of the room by a few gruff security guards. Weird? Errand Flight 2. Wait? Ministry for State Security, Berlin. After exiting the building, Angie looks up the blue sky that she so sorely missed. And here I thought that nowhere is as cold as the Soviet Union's administrative complex. I envy those who complain about blinding sunshine. What's the meaning of this? I guess I was still seething about the treatment. A 48-hour interrogation experience? Not even an extra minute? Can I extend my session? Even their weapons have been returned. Andy caresses her pistol and fights the sudden urge to charge back inside and shoot everyone. But isn't it good that we are released? Of course it's good, but I can't help but wonder why. Angie looks up at the long flight of stairs before thoughtfully. RPK and AK-15, who were the first to leave the building, are now sitting at the bottom of the staircase. RPK is tapping away at the laptop computer she is balancing on her knees. A cable joins the two doors by the neck. Were you all locked up in separate cells? Angie shuffles down the stairs slowly and sits down next to her subordinates. Neuroclouds, okay. Fire control core, okay. Sorry, what was that again? Yes, I was held inside an electronically sealed room. But they didn't do anything to me. Apparently, they were worried that the four of us would be violent in our resistance. Which is ridiculous. If we had wanted to raise hell, it would make no difference whether we were locked together or separately. I mean, AK-15 could probably just walk through the wall, honestly. Like, there isn't really much that's stopping 15 from just doing whatever the fucking hell she wants to. Yeah. How long was I in there? 2 days? It's been more than 2 days since we got off the plane. While we were held captive, they wouldn't let us see anyone, nor were we allowed visitors. All our equipment and weapons were also confiscated. I honestly thought we would only walk out of there to have a Neurocloud fright. What do you make of this, Angie? The detention was uncharacteristically short. It should have lasted at least another week. They obviously have no qualms about torture, but they ended up releasing me before they could beat the information out of me. That's very odd. True. We shouldn't count the Germans suddenly developing a conscience. Someone pulled some strings behind the scenes. Our release definitely wasn't a coincidence. Could it be Chairman Ulrich? If Ulrich had that much power, we wouldn't have ended up in the sticky situation in the first place. 48 hours is more than enough for Mordor to make it across the border into the Soviet Union. I heard that Mr. K has taken over the investigation. AK-15 suddenly opens her eyes and joins the conversation. RPK deftly unplugs the cable from her neck. Take a seat, Captain. No thanks, I can run diagnostic on my own. We've been held for 2 whole days. If they messed around with our hardware or software, you'd want to find out now, so stop being a sulky child. You do realize that as things stand, there's no way we can find even cheap replacements for our bodies, right? AK-12 sits down grumpily at the spot previously occupied by 15. K took over. I have nothing against him, but they might as well have lined the streets and given Mordor a warm send-off across the border. We wouldn't catch her in time even if we set off now. I know. Not to mention that these scouts are restricting my movements. Angie rests her hands on her knees and slowly scans the empty streets around her. Who knows how many hidden pairs of eyes are currently observing the group having a conversation on the stairs. They had to keep a low profile even though they're on their home turf. Looks like whoever helped us is the considerable status and authority. All the speculation does us no good. Even without all of these obstacles, we still need time to rest. Willpower is all that's keeping Miss Angie on her feet in her present condition. You're in no state to continue our investigation, are you? RPK leans towards Angie affectionately and takes a long, deliberate look at her quivering legs. AK-12 forcefully yanks the cable connecting her to RPK and jerks her back. I'm with on this one, Angie. You can play it tough all you want in front of the others, but you sound like you want to get back to work in your current state. Not only is that reckless, it's downright stupid. We've already wasted too much time. Angie glances at her knees and growls defiantly. Then what difference does a few more hours make? You said it yourself. You thought they were going to keep you for at least a week. But it's only been 48 hours, plus a few more hours of sleep. We're actually ahead of schedule. Fine. But before I rest, nobody objects to some light workout, huh? Angie gives her thighs a smack and slowly stands up. ABK unplugs the cable and gestures to AK-12 that the diagnostic is complete. She jokes jovially as she packs away her equipment. My, so Angie likes toying with young men. She looks around thoughtfully and makes a face into the direction that Angie was squinting at. Don't put it so weirdly. 2 on the left, 3 on the right. About 8 in the building behind us. What should we do with them? Let's give them a lesson and teach them how to show some respect to veterans. And give these scouts hell. Yes, ma'am. Just beat them up. Just smack them. You know, no big deal. Apart from the fact that that's a 438,000 strength unit. Holy shit, what the fuck? Essentially, avoid the police. That's what the game's telling me right now. Occupy a neutral radar. Where is a radar? Oh, all the way up there. Because who doesn't want to just beat up some random dudes that are chilling? For now, we probably want to go over here. Beat this pack of enemies. Random pathing too. That's annoying. That is annoying. The other one would have been nicer to deal with. That is if I understand correctly. And that thing isn't just entirely stationary. Fucker. I was also a little careless with 94 here. But how do we get to that unit to move? Do we get that unit to move? I don't know. I'm a little confused. I don't have to beat up all the enemies, right? I mean, maybe I do, but maybe I don't. But I'm not sure. Let's wait here and regen some more HP, and then we can fight that enemy on the left. We should be fine still. The question is, what now? What do we do now? Do I have to find a alternate path or something? I don't know. I am so very confused about this right now. That unit does not move. I'm supposed to attack him? No way, right? Yeah, no fucking way. We're just gonna be run over here. Dead. Dead. Like, what the hell was I supposed to do? What? Huh? Occupy the radar. That's great. I have an idea what could work. Hang on. Let's restart that. I fucked up because I was drinking something. There you go. Preserve some fighting power this time around. Way. So, we're not going to go up and to the right. The enemy is actually already onto us. And where exactly are you triggered to? Ah, there you go. See, that's a start. This is where we're going to end our turn. We want to lure the police to us, then walk around the police into that capture zone thing. That's a start. Ha! Gotcha, bitch. Very good. Tony Cherry's trumpet. Sure, whatever you say. The next day in an apartment. The warm sunshine of late summer seeps through the window and shines up on the wooden floorboards, filling the entire room with gentle lights. It only takes half a second for Angie to shake off her drowsiness and reach for the pistol she has hidden underneath her pillow. She distinctly remembers closing the curtains before going to sleep. Good morning, Angie. When she opens her eyes, she sees AK-12 sitting on a wooden chair, brought in from the other room, casually sipping a cup of coffee. Get me a cup as well. Angie puts down a gun and slowly sits up. Expecting to heal overnight is a bit unrealistic, but getting some sleep is enough for her. It's on your bedside table. I also got you some blueberry cookies. You look like you could use some carbs and vitamins. Angie scratches her head and looks towards the bedside table. The coffee and cookies are sitting there waiting for her. Surprisingly, she didn't notice their aroma until now. The warm beverage with its bitter sweetness washes away the last trace of grogginess in her head. This girl isn't a good cook in any sense, but she always knows exactly what she needs. The temperature's just right. Thanks. I told you not to run bioscans on me. I just gave you a quick checkup. You need a medical treatment. If I hadn't scanned you, how would I know when you would wake up? The blueberry cookies have just the right amount of changiness. How do you feel? Didn't you just scan me? I'm asking about how you're feeling. It hurts where it should, but that's a good sign. It means I'm getting better. The scan result says as much. If it were anybody else, I'd recommend staying in bed for another week, but I'm guessing you're already raring to go. What's the situation out there? What can I say? It's exactly what you'd expect in the very heart of Germany. This apartment is much better equipped than the one we were given in Bremen, in terms of both living conditions and surveillance. RPK alone has discovered enough bugs and hidden cameras to open a store. And she gets out of bed and walks around AK-12 to the window. She peers outside and studies the view. They are on the 8th floor. The Stasi have put them somewhere high up, probably so that they can keep a better eye on them. While you were resting, RPK and I have gathered some information on what happened while we were detained. How are things getting on? How are things over in Bremen? As you expected, Kay let Morello escape. Never mind, it would be very difficult to capture her under such circumstances. Even I underestimate her combat capability. The apartment block is the tallest building in the area, but Angie can still spot the flashing speck of light from the building across the street. Is that the Stasi or someone else? Hard to say, but most of the Stasi agents would be in this building. It may well be someone else if they're monitoring us from across the street. Angie shakes her head and closes the curtains. Oh, and it's not all bad news. They found this when they searched Morello's apartment. AK-12 produces a document. The document does not contain much information, and there's just a single photograph. Angie turns around and looks at the photo on the table. A photo of a large mansion. I know this house. It looks familiar, doesn't it? You got the location? Not yet. RPK is on it. But even if we find it, these Germans won't let you wander around. How many people are watching us right now? Are you sure you want to know? Don't say I didn't warn you, but it's even worse than in Bremen. Also, these people aren't friendly at all. I doubt we're getting any burger deliveries from them. Is there any way we can lose them? I don't have time to waste on them. Easier said than done. We don't have Stasi agents giving us a hand this time. Quite the contrary. They're mobilizing it en masse just to monitor our movements. This is their home turf. It'll be challenging to slip away from them right under the nose, to say the least. And she rubs her temples. Since they're going to such great lengths to keep tabs on me, I'll just stay here. Any idea who it was that set us free? I was just about to get to that. RPK and I spent the whole night trying to figure that out, but we haven't got much to work with. The Germans aren't happy at all that we've been let out and are watching our every move. So basically, you haven't learned anything. That's not entirely true. At the very least, we learned more about the current situation. By the looks of it, Berlin's already has its hands full with its own problems. What do you mean? Look at this. AK-12 picks up the remote control and turns on the television in the room. The morning news happens to be on at that moment, and a fierce-looking woman appears in front of the camera. Good morning, Shadow's reporting here on the front lines. We are currently on the eastern riverfront, where the mass demonstrations is escalating. Please take a look. The scene shows a rambunctious group of people shouting and displaying banners written in German. They all have the same symbol painted on their faces. The armed anti-riot police force hovers some distance away hesitantly. Finding the strength in numbers, the protesters block off the roads and do not back down even in the face of public authority. The protesters are getting louder and louder. Their representative claims this is a rightful protest against the government's inaction. According to certain sources, this could be related to the obstruction encountered by the iron formulation type 3, an elite serum developed by Galatea Corporation. Yeah. I don't... For the people that have seen some of the following events of this, they might remember what this item is. Because in a later event, you do actually get to see what it is. It's nothing good. But the public doesn't know that. And he takes a sip of coffee before putting down a cup and picking up the documents from the table. Apart from the photo of the mansion, it seems it mentions some of Morido's personal information, and you did not expect any of it to be particularly useful. Shows he isn't disappointed. What's the deal with these people? There have been a large number of incidents in Berlin in the past 2 months. There have been multiple riots, bombings, and other kinds of insurgents. Due to the difficulty in investigating and the sheer number of cases, the Berlin police is gradually losing control of the situation. And in the last month, these disturbances have started to affect the daily life of ordinary citizens. It probably triggered some deep-seated malcontent in people, and the large-scale demonstrations broke out in the city. Demonstrations? They're happening right now. That's right. They're taking place at this very moment. The government district is still able to maintain the illusion that all is well, but it's not the case in the Old Town district. As you can see on TV. I did watch the real-time footage on the television with a frown. It's obvious that these people didn't take to the streets on a whim. The anger must have built up over a long period of time. For some reason, she feels a surge of unease, but she can't quite put a finger on what is bothering her. Still mulling over this, Angie stretches out her arm to put the document back on the table. The file falls onto the floor, making a loud noise. Angie? Angie stares dubiously at her left hand. She gingerly curls her fingers into a fist. Ekatwal's eyes widen. It's been a while since I last had it serviced. Probably just some malfunctioning parts. Should I run a more detailed scan on it? Don't bother. There are neither doctors nor suitable parts. If I let the Stasi touch it, God knows what kind of malware they planned in there. Right. Then let's just hope you won't suddenly drop your gun when facing off some bad guy. I shoot with my right hand, 12. Come in. Good morning, Angie. Did you sleep well? Abigail opens the door and enters jauntily. She immediately zeroes in on Naked 12, who's sitting in front of the window. You look quite well rested. Cut the crap, what is it? It's about this good Samaritan who helped us. Ekatov and I spent the whole night trying to identify them in vain, but things seem to have changed. Oh? I just received a message via my intranet. The message completely bypassed my firewall, so I only noticed it when it came through. I've tried, but I couldn't trace it. Not even you. Not even me. What does it say? The subject is a Bible verse number. John 8:12. I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. John, chapter 8, verse 12. How pretentious. And revolting. It's probably a stupid question, but does this remind you of anyone in particular? Why do you even know this verse off the top of your head? Like, it's just fucking... wait. Do I look like I know someone so obnoxious? The message itself reads, Dear Miss Anna Viktorovna Tsoy, I hope you will forgive me for meddling, but I deeply regret what happened in Bremen and the bad decisions the Stasi has made due to internal strife. There are things I wish to discuss with you concerning Paradeus. Please meet me after lunch. P.S. I hope you find the apartment satisfactory. Then there's an address. It looks like a bar in the old town. A bar called Athena's Owl. I'm getting a mob. A mop? For what? For cleaning up my puke. Will you go to the meeting? To be honest, I don't want to. Not one bit. Do you know the 3 types of people that I hate the most? People like AK-12 and people like me? People with no conviction. Pretentious pricks. And what's the last type? William. And he downs the rest of our coffee, pops a cookie into her mouth and throws it in her coat. But right now, I don't really have a choice, and at the end of the day, they did save me. I should at least hear them out. Alrighty, let me get 94 and 15. But before that... the targets have left the building. They're heading northeast. Copy that. 5 targets confirmed. It's Angelia and adults. Those are members of the Wolfpack, top-of-the-line tactical dogs developed by Soviet Statesec. Squad B, bring along your precise visual gear and stow away your weapons. Roger. Angelia is highly experienced. Do not lock horns with her. If you have difficulty keeping up with her, report the final coordinates before you lose her. Another squad will take over from there. Understood. As locals, we know the terrain and the traffic. This is our greatest advantage. Eat her alive. It's time to show what the Stasi are made of. Yes, sir. Eat her alive what? Are you going to try to attack her? That would be really stupid. This isn't the first time I just visited Berlin, and the last time she was here, the now abandoned quarantine wall was still functional. The river runs through the city, separating the city center and the Old Town district. Soon after the Indy goes through the Brandenburg Gate, she arrives at Alt-Berlin. It's already past noon, but the demonstration is not over yet. In fact, it's even more momentum than shown on TV. Most of the people have faced the same problems, no matter what country they live in. I always thought Germans are stoic. Turns out they're still very vocal about their dissatisfaction when they are pushed too far. That stereotype should have been deconstructed the moment you met Jay. Why are they protesting? Because of the economy, the environment, the livelihood. It's always the same reasons. If society doesn't have make any fundamental changes, these problems will never go away. I just picked up an interesting buzzword. Have you heard about the anti-collapse serum? Anti-collapse serum. A product of Galatea and apparently the cure to Elite. Never heard of it, but a bunch of vaccines that claim to be the answer to Elite have introduced to the market every year. Then the pharma companies flounder and drown under financial difficulties. Now, the environmental problems are not addressed. Humankind will always be plagued by Elite. You're absolutely right. So long as people are still getting infected, you will never produce enough drugs to cure them all. Humans really do have a knack of doing pointless things. That's none of your concern. Right now we have more pressing issues. Standing on the riverbank, Angie gazes at the bridge that police have sealed off. On the other side of the river, countless protesters have gathered, waving their banners and chanting the slogans. The passers-by who have no intention of joining in, their presence is merely an inconvenience at causing a traffic jam. How are tag-alongs? Still very much with us. These people are not in the same league as the ones from yesterday. The person in command here isn't to be taken lightly. This is very tricky. Since the moment they left the apartment, Angela's been trying to shake off the agents that are following them. But even now, she could still feel their eyes boring holes into her back. She was expecting it, but she is nonetheless rather surprised by the level of the skills. Almost there. I can't lead them straight to the meeting place, you know what I mean? It'd be a shame for you to miss your booking and lose your table at the bar. I found the book to book a table as an answer to that invitation. If I show up late because I get tied down, it'll be difficult to gain the upper hand in negotiations. AK-12 shakes off her sunglasses. Or takes off her sunglasses. In that case, let's make use of the rifles. We'll teach our creepy stalkers to fear Soviet agents. Occupy the neutral radar. Again. Up there. Let me just collapse this building in your face. Pick up this bomb. Looking at the bomb. Is it amazing? Yes. Should I lick it? No. Don't lick the bomb. Warum? Ah, Hihi. Do not lick the bomb. Let's try that again. Let me lick the bomb. If you lick the bomb, no more floof. Bad. Huh. Bop. And he's dead. And you're just chilling. Chilling. So there's a ruffian up there. I'm actually most concerned about these guys. Where are you alerted? You are alerted very far. Both of you are. Alright. We'll probably use that. Ish. Licking bombs is just not a very healthy bucket. It's all good. You know? A lot of explosives are toxic. Not very good for you. Bop, 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 bop. So you are not alerted to this place right now. You are alerted to over here though. How about I try to lure the one guy down here? Does he move? He should move. But does he? You are moving instead. That is weird. But it said you weren't alerted here. That's actually really bad. I am also on time limit here. Well, that fucking sucks. I do have an idea. Actually, I'm gonna be cut off in a second. Oh, gotta suck. pop, pop, pop. Punchy. Yeah, I'll be cut off here. Can't really go where I want to go. Because of that guy. You are alerted across the whole fucking map. That is really going to fucking suck. And this is going to especially suck because one of them is just on the fucking node that we have to get to. Fuck! Go over here, that guy's gonna move here, that guy's gonna move here. We can outmaneuver one of them. I think. I need those to move away from there. That's the biggest problem right now. I need them to not be right on the node that I need to get to. I need you to move away from there, potentially. I have 4 moves. I can move here, 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 here. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna get myself surrounded in a second. This is actually gonna be bad. Like, really, really bad. Shit. I can't really go anywhere. This is kind of the only place I can go. And it's not gonna work. He's gonna move here. He's gonna move here. He's gonna move here, and I'm gonna be entirely surrounded. So I fucked up. I fucked up. Wait. Ta-da! Got nowhere to go. Crowd noises. So let's think this through a bit more. We absolutely are going to take the bomb belong. Whether or not we use them in the first turn, I don't know, but we're going to take it. So we want to manipulate them and see how they're gonna move and react. This guy's alerted quite far, then we have this guy that's alerted, I think, across the map. Yep. He's also alerted across the map. Yep. So essentially only one of these guys is not alerted across the map. And that's gonna be somehow the 2 that we're gonna have to use. We're going to have to lure everyone except this guy. And there's some very specific tiles that we can do it from. So what I shall do first is lay the detonates and see how those guys are gonna move. Because we might just be able to get rid of 2 of them. Which would be very nice. That seems like a perfect time to use the detonation. Right after we kill the squad with engine. All the incendiaries. So, we are next to the detonator. We should be able to blow up these two squads and just get rid of them. Bakum. It did not kill either of them. I'm not even sure if it blocked them in. Hi? Hello, Energy? Hi! I didn't expect to see you here. Thank you very much for the follow. I am honestly a little bit baffled right now. You just stream sometimes. Yeah, noted, noted. Thank you very much. I mean, I've been subscribed to you for like I actually don't know. I haven't been able to catch streams recently because of timing and everything, but I've been a very long time subscriber. Like 9 or 10 years at this point. So yeah, hi. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, this is Frontline. It's a tactics game mostly. Let's talk to other people. Sorry, I'm a bit overwhelmed right now. Also, I'm very sorry, I do have a cold, so there might be sniffling and sneezing every once in a while. I hope it does not bother you. Yeah, we currently have a map where we need to get this unit over to here, and it's a pathing puzzle, essentially. Yeah, I thought Frontline was just 14 PvP with all girls. No. It's in fact, it's a bit of an experience. The original thing that gets people interested in this is that it's guns that are girls. It's a gacha game. Except the fact that the entire story is essentially a Cold War-esque spy thriller. It's pretty dark. So yeah. Yeah. That pulled me out of this entirely. I'm so sorry, I just completely lost the script. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, anyway. Okay, page 12, yes. So, this unit is not a problem. So, essentially, these specific units with a very big number, that's the power number. My power number is significantly lower. Suddenly stunlocked. Yeah, quite literally. Yeah. We need to lure these guys away from here to then make a path to get to the node. Which is a bit funky. Where are you not? alerted to. Very, very few tiles. Theoretically, should it not work if I just stand on this one and wait? Like... the shortest path from here would definitely be to go directly. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the same, so it's going to randomly pick one of the paths. This one, though, this one doesn't worry about. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it's gonna definitely be longer. Okay, I think we can just stand on this tile and wait. Alright then. Just gonna not get hit by Molotov cocktails. Alright. Now, it all depends entirely on how long these guys are going to be held up, because if they break out too early, or if they get to move this turn, this entire thing doesn't work. I did bring down a building on the head. It did not stop them. That is a problem. However, I think we're still fine. This guy's still one tile behind, so I can just wait him out by one. This guy's gonna go either left or down. I am only going to have 3 moves in that turn, so 1, 2, 3. That I'm not gonna get very far. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna wait one more turn. Okay, that unit went down. That might make a problem with the other squad. Alright. Yeah, that is actually a problem. I can only get up to here. I'm gonna have to wait one more turn. Essentially, let myself get almost surrounded before just running for it. Gonna suck. Yeah, see, that's bad. That's bad. That's not how I wanted them to move. This is now entirely dependent on luck. Actually, no, it's not. This is doomed. This is just entirely doomed. Because the units will block each other's pathing. So even if I move over here, which is the only tile where I'm currently safe to move to, this one's gonna go towards me. This one's gonna go up here, and this one's gonna go over here. Any other pathing doesn't work. Like, this one could theoretically go over to the left, but it's gonna block this unit, so I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, no, never mind. We got luck. Yeah, we got unlucky, actually. Fuck. I forgot about the last one. Shit! Fuck. And we're stuck. Congratulations on your soft lock. Crowd noises. Okay, so that did not work the way I wanted it to. That did not, in fact, destroy either of those 2 units. It did get one of them stuck, but that did not help much. What do I do? How do I do this? I need to start to actually see the pathing. Against what am I? God damn it. Yay. Yes, I know. I can pick up the bomb and plant it in places. That is what I will do, because this is essentially the only place I can actually use it. Set the bomb. Could just bring it down on myself right now, but I don't think that would help. Because if the unit actually moves into the wreckage, or the wrecked building, it will actually get destroyed. Do not get blown up by one bomb. That one's gone. That is, however, the only unit we can get rid of. The rest is still very much just as annoying as always. I also have very limited paths I can take to get out of here. So, how do I bait these guys? This one's closing in on me already, that's a problem. You are not alerted to the 4 starting tiles, I guess. Let's just wait it for a moment. See how that works out. Why are you going back? Not quite sure what's going on right there with pathing. Move. Thank you. Not good, actually. I messed up. Just to be playing with fire over here. Okay, that actually works. You've made the mistake of fitting up one of your stormlighters again. Yeah, I could feel. I could. I'm probably gonna do the same for like New Year's. Because I do still have the lighter in front of me. Actually, it's on my desk somewhere. The one that I got from the tank museum. So, if I can make it there, that doesn't work either with this fucker. Damn it. All I have to do is get a path to this goddamn node. Shit. Fortunately, they are kind of targeted everywhere, so they're just gonna go wherever they want. Well, this should actually work. Used to have like ball, your favorite being a Charmander one where the seam of the lip is so you can make it talk. I just have one that is I think engraved with a panzer bit, which is pretty cool. It's also like one of only 2 pieces of merch that I got from the tank museum because they didn't have like great merch. It's a bit of a shame, honestly. No, I'm talking about not the tank museum in Britain, but the German Panzer Museum. It did not have great much. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's a 50-50 chance that this enemy goes exactly where I want it to. There's also a 50-50 chance that it doesn't. Something punchier than a pea shooter. Oh, she has plenty of punchy things, I can say. Unfortunately, the enemy is, essentially, currently story-wise, she's just gotten out of a torture chamber. And, this is the Secret Service that has put her there, and we're trying to move around them. Try a metal hand, yep. She does have a metal prosthetic arm. Literal robot hand. The story of Ghost Marine is wild. And Angie is quite the badass. In one part of the story, she has literally just nuked herself. Because that was essentially the only way out of the situation. Just set off a dirty bomb. Lol. She is by far one of the most popular characters, and she is not even one that you can have as a gacha character. She's just a side character in the story. Well, to be fair, calling her a side character is probably underselling it, considering the fact that there was multiple events that have revolved entirely out of the story, but she's like a main subject of the story, but not a main character. We've actually done it. Thank God. Was one of the green goos on? Yes, it was. It was, actually. She has almost zombified herself. Funny. Hey, we did it. Let's go. Setting us away. More story. Government must address demands immediately. Bureaucrats who don't give a damn about the people's lives are fascists. Listen to the people. Julius crossing the bridge. I knew it. Thank you. Your job here is done. Squad C and D, prepare to take over. Understood. Understood. Angelia is very skilled at making use of crowds and traffic and reverse tracking. Pay attention to your lines of sight and blind spots when working with other squads. Also, watch out for their attacks, even for Angelia herself as an exceptional fighter. Not to mention the dolls. Angelia's crossed the street. She is now turning into the Beckerstrasse. What about the crowd's movements? The procession is heading towards the Violunk in the east. Squads E and F, disperse the crowd. Do not let the target distract you. Copy that. The Berlin police is in the area. Should we notify them? Untrained personnel will only make things difficult for us. Leave them out of this. It'll be a tough battle once they blend into the demonstrating procession. I'll keep an eye on things from a high vantage point. Don't get yourself killed. Yes, sir. On the top of a tall building, the youth who is observing the milling crowd from above turns off his communicator and frowns. Why is there a large-scale demonstration today of all days? What is Angelia doing here? Something doesn't feel right. I'm just imagining things. While Light is muttering to himself, an explosion occurs at the very front of the procession. After pushing her way through the crowd that has gathered at the bridge, Angie soon realizes that there is another rallying crowd in the district. In order to spread their message far and wide and gain more influence, the protesters keep moving tirelessly. For Angie, this is naturally a great opportunity. The crowd obstructs her enemy's view. She can dart through a stream of people, circle back and take out her enemies in one fell swoop. Angie is usually an expert at shaking off her pursuers. But today, things are not that simple. No matter where she goes, these people stick to her like glue, as though she has a GPS tracker on her. Even when she wants to make a move, she can never completely escape her enemy's line of sight, not even for a second. In such a tightly packed crowd, she has neither the time nor the space to have a boxing match with them. What's even worse... 1294. Angie, where are you? Damn it. How can she tell where she is? For some reason, a commotion seems to have broken out at the front of the procession, and the demonstration comes to a halt at this block. The people in front and the back cannot communicate with each other. The ones in the back try to push forward, while the ones in this front are stuck and chaos ensues. Under these conditions, even powerful T-Dots are utterly helpless. Angie has been separated from the five for over 5 minutes. The dots can locate each other by the signals, but it has already occurred to Angie that that isn't the problem. New protests keep pouring in from all directions. Even AK-15 cannot make her way through all the people to Angie. She must think of something fast. Hey, that guy is a cop! Right, so we have a traitor in the midst. Hold on now. The sudden accusation makes the crowd already rather proud to erupt. The protesters direct all their anger towards the target. It doesn't even matter if he's actually a traitor or not. Meanwhile, Edgy gets dragged along by someone in a different direction. Don't touch me! Ow. The man lets out a yelp of pain as his shoulder gets dislocated, but she is still being dragged away, and she immediately realizes what's going on. It isn't just one or two people. Everyone around her is deliberately trying to move her in a specific direction. You've got to be kidding me. Her poorly maintained bionic arm breaks down at this critical moment, and she struggles in vain and can only let herself drift along helplessly like a lily pad on a pond. Get off me! One last shove ejects Angie from the crowd. She stumbles a few steps and almost trips over the raised sidewalk. None of the people who pushed her come after her. The protesters are still bellowing in anger without a glance towards her. Standing on the sidewalk and steadying herself, Angie finally moves her finger away from the trigger of her pistol. She was this close to going on a killing spree. It's an immense relief to finally be free of the crowd. She swears never to resort to this method ever again. Those people led her here on purpose. They even got rid of her pursuers for her. Angie puts her pistol back into its holster and takes a look around, but she sees nothing unusual. Okay, that's... Quick note, it is a Chinese game with translation into English, so sometimes there's some grammatical errors. Like, there's an ass missing. Just as she is about to turn away, her heart skips a beat. I'm here? Athena's owl. The bar stated in the address is right in front of her. His entrance awaits quietly next to the bustling crowd, its neon sign flashing even during the day. With emotions still running high, nobody is looking this way or paying any attention to Angie or what she is about to do. By the bar entrance, a raggedy beggar is sitting on the stairs. Her indifferent eyes follow Angie closely below her hood. Angie has also noticed her. She wonders if she drew the attention of her when she was putting away a gun. Angelia? The beggar calls out Angie's name softly. Upon seeing her reaction, she nods. Salvation lies within. The beggar lifts her walking stick and taps the door of the bar within. Then she closes her eyes and leans back against the doorframe, seemingly fast asleep again. Inside the bar. Is this some sort of dystopian metaphor? Should I wait for the fire or go in on my own? After a short moment of hesitation, Angie decides to head inside. I think I know who you are. She knocks on the door softly. Another glance at that slumbering beggar. She takes a deep breath and pushes the door open. The bell jiggles brightly to announce Angie's arrival. Loud! Barkeep, another screwdriver! Hey, did you just hide the menu? The heavy wooden door has been keeping all the noise in the bar from spilling into the streets. Only when Angie pushes open the door does she notice how boisterous it is in the small place. The piano playing is drowned by conversations. She stops in front of the door and scans the interior of the establishment. Such a lawless, chaotic place does make for a perfect meetup place. Perhaps because the bar is so isolated from the outside world, nobody seems to have noticed Angie's entrance. Like other such establishments in the Old Town district, this place is filled with people from the lower stratas of Berlin's society, and the sounds of their hollering and clinking wine glasses. No one but Angie herself hears her footsteps. It's only natural in such a noisy environment. She strolls unobtrusively onto the old floorboards and keeps herself ready to draw a fire within half a second. At the counter, a nefarious-looking scoundrel whistles at the bar girl next to Angie. He doesn't seem to have seen Angie at all. He laughs, flashing his mouthful of yellow teeth, and drains the beer and his stein in one go. Angie takes a glance at him and quickly retracts her gaze. She does not want to get into any trouble for the meeting. The man seems to have the same idea. Still ignoring Angie as if he hadn't seen her, he lifts his stein and beckons for the bar girl to refill it. He never even glances at Angie the whole time. Not just him. Everyone in the bar acts as if she was invisible. Nobody greets her or asks if she'd like to order something. People don't even look at her. If someone happens to look in her direction, the gaze just glides over her as though she was nothing but air. This is it. Angelia's a special agent, so she can sniff out danger from miles away. However, despite how bizarre this phenomenon is, oddly enough, she doesn't feel unnerved at all. She collects herself for a moment before venturing deeper into the building. Everything feels natural around her. The This is just your run-of-the-mill bar with tobacco, beer, poker cards. The atmosphere is fantastic. And you would love to have a drink here on the day off. In such an ordinary place, Angie's presence is the only anomaly. Which is why she knows instantly that she has found a target when she notices another anomaly. Most bars put out more tables and seats on the dance floor during daytime to accommodate for more customers, and this place is no exception. But right now, the dance floor is filled with tables and chairs, is completely deserted. Except for the only occupied table right in the center. A round table with 2 chairs. A man is seated in one of them. He has his back to Angie, and the only bit of skin exposed is his hand on the armrest. Next to him, Angie can see a few bottles of very expensive wine on the table. Just like with Angie, nobody's acknowledging this man's presence. The space he's occupying might as well be a separate dimension that Angie alone can see. Please have a seat, Angelia. After the commotion outside, you must be tired. A low and sonorous voice speaks from the chair all of a sudden. Even though Angie hasn't made a sound, he knows she's here. As if he had eyes in the back of his head. And he walks around him wordlessly and pulls out the other chair opposite of him. I've been playing out the scene in my head many times before I walked through the door. I had a lot of guesses, but this isn't what I expected at all. I don't believe I know you. Not even all my friends know me. The middle-aged man with white sideburns, sitting in the armchair, leans the lenses of his spectacles as he speaks. His voice is deep and mellow, which matches the air he gives off. Even if he hadn't spoken, Andrew could have guessed he's a Brit. He has all the qualities of a typical Englishman: resolute, gentlemanly, proud, distant, and pretentious as hell. Oop. Andrew studies him and remains silent. The man takes his time pushing his glances up his tall nose. A sharp glint flashes in his pale eyes as they focus on Angie. Andrew feels like a prey animal that's been spotted by a predator. I suppose special agents should get used to speaking to people who don't reveal their name. You've seen Berlin for yourself while you're on the way here. I hope the discourteous welcome you received hasn't caused you to be prejudiced against the beautiful city. Brushing off Angie's guide, the man sitting straight in a ramrod places his interlaced fingers on his lap and smiles at her. But Berlin must have made a much different impression compared to Bremen. Indeed. Angie purses her lips to hide her impatience. She puts an elbow on the table. Bremen was bad enough. Berlin is worse. The man remarks offhandedly and directs his gaze towards a pianist performing a relaxing piece. Is this why you've brought me here? For small talk? You think this conversation is a waste of time? I beg to differ. Angelia, we are constantly deluding ourselves into thinking that the world is getting back on track. But the truth is staring us right in the face. There's still too much hidden darkness. And where there's hidden darkness, there's tragedy like what happened in Beslan. If all things were bright and beautiful in the world, why would your parents suffer such a terrible fate? Angie leaps up from her chair. Hush. The moment she jumps to her feet, the bustling pub is engulfed in dead silence. Angie is now certain that everyone around them, the people who have been deliberately ignoring them, is ready to take her down any second. There isn't a single real customer in this pub. The man meets Angie's defiant gaze with his own sharp eyes. He taps an empty glass in front of him with a spoon. The clear sound seems to have restarted the clock, and time once again starts flowing in the pub. The customers go back to clinking glasses with sloshing beers. Everything returns to the same state as when Angie first came in. The murderous intent that was directed at her vanishes without a trace. Are you threatening me? Please forgive me. You are a professionally trained agent while I'm just a defenseless old man. They're simply concerned about my safety if it comes to the altercation. That's not what your eyes suggest. If I had wanted to do anything, you wouldn't have needed them to intervene. Just sit down, Angelia. Our conversation isn't over yet. Don't forget, that dude is not defenseless. He is absolutely not. For context, I am currently playing through the entire story of this game on stream, and this has been going on for a while. He's got that I'm not mad and disappointed look. In other words, this is one of the 2 events of the story that I have missed when it was current. I have played the events that follow. I know this man. He's an asshole. But he's a powerful asshole. Don't forget, if I hadn't helped you, would you have left the Stardust interrogation chamber? Without answering Angie's question, the man fishes out a gold coin from his pocket. He gives his thumb a flick, and the coin lands heavily in front of Angie. Angie watches the spinning coin as it gradually slows down and falls on its side. She looks up at the man again. So it's you. We are not enemies, Angelia. On the contrary, we are the closest comrades in arms. You and me? I doubt that. Someone whose hands are even bloodier than mine preaching to me about all things bright and beautiful. Ah. We share a common goal, Angie. I know you can't argue with that. Our methods may be different, but our aspirations are the same. Everything we do is for the sake of Rossatrism. Common destiny. I've grown tired of this kind of rhetoric. You may be able to fool the sheep in your country with that, but don't bother using it on me. Have you never wondered why Zelensky and Mikhail let you come to Germany? You are an outstanding agent. I'm sure you can discern the situation. Think about it, Angie. Perhaps you were destined to work with me from the start, just as you were destined to walk into this pub. You are cornered. Right now, you do not have a choice. If you still refuse to trust me or your intuition, you may pretend to have never met me and just walk out of here. My intuition is telling me to pour a glass of whiskey over your head. Angie eyes the man before her, but he is still smiling benignly despite the provocation. Sit down. Angie keeps staring at him. He shakes his head and pushes a glass towards her. If you must, I recommend you do it with this glass. Angie takes a deep breath and finally sits back down. This is what I like about you, Angelia. You always read the situation. Just cut to the chase. What leads do you have? Let's return to the subject of Berlin. I believe you've seen what's happening up there. The demonstration, you mean? Berlin was nowhere this bad just a while ago. It's always been one of the most developed cities in the decontamination zone that has recovered quite well. It's by no means a utopia, but you could rarely find such seeds of discord and instability here. It's not what it looks like to me. Seeds can ride the wind. They can also be carried by beasts. You want me to look into this? Yes. I have no time for such distractions. You know why I've come to Germany. Believe me, Angelia, you will realize that our agendas are surprisingly similar. This has something to do with William. From what I know, this matter involves a conspiracy. Following the incident in Bremen, Paradise is planning to stage an even more elaborate terrorist attack in Berlin. A terrorist attack. And he suddenly finds it difficult to breathe. The White Faction's touch is evident in everything... Ooh. Hello, Fox! Let me give you a shout out. Actually, I should probably have given Elodie a shout out as well now that I think about it. Ah, screaming. How was your ukulele stream? And yes, I should actually drink something. That's not a bad idea. Yes. You're just redeeming everything you can right now, Fox. Too stunning to give a shout out. Listen. When the streamer that you've been subscribed to and like really looking up to for like 10 years just appears in your chat randomly, you kind of get stunlocked, okay? Okay. Posture check done. Could redeem more. You probably could. I still haven't fixed that. Oops. I need to put a timeout on that so that doesn't overlap. Who? Elegy. Elegy. Yeah. I highly recommend to check them out. They are a great streamer. I have unfortunately not had the time to check them out, to watch much recently. Your claim to fame is you're old. Honestly, your claim to fame is probably the voices. They're in my head. Like, you finished half of the advance. Man, I still remember, like, 10 years ago, I was watching all of the Ace Attorney playthroughs with the voices and everything. And I think, to this day, Bitch Pearls is my favorite voice that I've ever heard. It was so fucking funny. I will unfortunately have to put the tail down again, because otherwise it's just going to interfere with the stream. Yeah. And I've got to say, I love this emote procession. That's a lot of that. That is a lot of that. However, the floof is supreme. It is fine with some games, however, when there's a lot of, like, scene setting and text, it kind of gets in the way. I hope your stream was good though, Fox. As you know, I wasn't there earlier. For the people that don't know Fox, she does art, and she currently has a sale going on, where she does things a little cheaper. I don't know the current prices exactly, I would have to lie, or just look it up again, but yeah, she does art. Actually, let me quickly check something on Twitch. I don't believe that I changed my picture on Twitch, but no, I did not. Stream was good. Very nice. Yes, I have no qualms about shouting out my friends in front of people. For the fuck, she's a nerd. As much as she might deny it. The tail is back, I see. I do like the tail. No, definitely a nerd. You're a VTuber. Again, like, you're a VTuber. There's no denying that you're a nerd. You cannot deny it, Fox, no matter how much you try. Why is it removable? It's not. I've actually explained this before. Teehee. It is in fact not removable. What happens is just that it flips down. That is all. Yes, a nerd, like triple nerd at least. Art nerd, music nerd, and VTuber default nerd. Yep. There's no denying it, Fox. You can't help it. And yes, for the people that didn't know yet, kann ich immer Deutsch? Absolut. Ich spreche Deutsch, Bakasura spricht Deutsch, Lady Kasumi spricht, glaube ich, Deutsch. Ich bin mir relativ sicher. Fox spricht Deutsch. Aber meistens streame ich auf Englisch. Einfach zu 99%. Verdammt. Das hilft mir jetzt gerade nicht wirklich, Bakasura. Das hilft so überhaupt nicht bei diesem Spiel. Und das ist sehr schlecht. Tatsächlich, also was bisher geschrieben wurde, nicht. Ich muss aber wahrscheinlich langsamer reden, damit mich Leute mit nicht natürlichem Deutsch verstehen können. Das heißt, ich habe die Angewohnheit, sehr schnell zu reden, was es definitiv schwerer macht, mich zu verstehen, wenn man nicht also Deutsch ist. Dann kommt dazu der Dialekt. Aber wenigstens komme ich nicht aus Bayern. Ja, Warte mal. Habe ich nicht mal gesagt, bei den Girls Frontline Streams lasse ich es nicht zu. Ich muss jetzt aber tatsächlich für 5 Minuten einfach rumblödeln und nichts tun. Denn, ähm, denn es wurde redeemed und jetzt kann ich leider die Story so nicht weiterspielen. Das hilft gerade nicht wirklich. Und leider kann ich auch so nicht kommunizieren. Ja, ich würde gerne antworten. Wirklich. Ich würde wirklich gerne antworten. Leider weiß ich aber, dass nichts verstanden wird. Von daher warten wir einfach noch 3 Minuten. Natürlich finde ich geil. Natürlich. Das glaube ich dir aufs Wort. Absolut kein Zweifel in meinem Hirn gerade. So. Ja. Wir haben noch 3 Minuten, in denen ich jetzt rumsitze. Mein Gott. Das sind sehr viele Headbutts. Also. 1 Minute noch. Noch 1 Minute in Deutsch. Ich spiele gerade nur rum, bis die Zeit vorbeigeht. Haha. Zeit ist gerade mein Feind. Nein, so schlecht ist es nicht. Also. Eine Minute kann ich antworten, indem man mich versteht. Also. Bisschen Geduld. Kleines bisschen Geduld. Klitzekleines bisschen. Ah! Haha! Alright. The 5 minutes have passed. I can speak English again. Yeah, Elegy, you're like, what you've written is essentially flawless German. The speaking might not be. Also, hello, Beru. How are you doing? Who's gunning the fronts? How were you doing? And what were you up to? You were doing Marvel Strike Force. I don't know anything about that game. I am Max Kill. I am TB free. Yes, that is correct. We're suffering. Ah, that explains things. I do actually remember you saying earlier in Discord that you were like dreading the sponsored stream. But hey, money's got to come from somewhere. Money's got to come from somewhere. But yeah, I do speak German essentially on stream only when someone redeems the 5 minutes of German because I am German. I speak German, but I do prefer to be in the English sphere streamers, so yeah, girls gotta get it back. Yeah, money is money. Like, I gotta do work as well. Like, I work full-time as an electrician. Gotta get the cash to get the gifts for your parents. Yikes. It was like 18 years ago. Yikes. Time passes, eh? Like, I'm turning 30 next year. Fuck my life. I'm old. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. You're 30? Not 30 yet, I'm 29. I'm turning 30 next year. Whatever will you do? Hey, time passes alright. It's not exactly like I'm getting much done in my life, I'm just working as an electrician and doing streaming on the side. 30 next year, gang. Ask, how could you? You're 37 in 2 weeks. I mean, I know older people. I'm friends with older people. Just look at Terry over there. He isn't here, but just look at him. He's essentially the funny old man. But for the people that have yeah, I know what you mean. Brown's color when? Yes. Yes. Unfortunately not this week. I don't have a slot open this week. I mean, I'm very glad that you're actually happier with how everything is going on now, Energy. Again, I haven't really been able to catch many streams because of just time zones and stuff, and doing my own thing. Me. Hey. Let's not get into that. I mean, it's fine. I'm alive. A lot of things have been happening. I have been keeping up to date. I know that I don't interact much with communities because I'm just very bad at socializing. Hey. I do read. Me. Anyway. Sorry. Also, better, I do hope that your stream was at least mildly acceptable, considering the fact that you played a game that you didn't even want to play except for the money. But, you know. Hope you got the money. I cared about try a large lockdown protocol session. The game looks so fun. I have no idea what that game is. Puts on so much pressure on doing stuff before 30. Yeah. Middle-age crisis. Midlife crisis, what do you mean? It's like, well, it's like 20s but better. I don't know, like, life is life. Phone ran out of battery midstream, so it's horrible. No! No! Oh, that sucks. No, 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 no. Honestly, life is just a time. It's been. I don't think it's gonna get worse after 30. I don't really think it's gonna get better either. So, you know, it's just a thing. I hope that you'll get the money though, Beru. And for everyone that has come from Beru's stream, and also from Fox's stream earlier, because I forgot to do that. Hi, I'm Teamy. I play video games. Most often military related, sometimes not. This one is. Though it does only look like on the surface, like a cheap cash grab for gotcha girl gun thing, but it's not. In fact, actually, next week, in 7 days, we're getting Frontline 2. Which is like XCOM, but gotcha. And also definitely, absolutely, military-wide holo VTuber. It's definitely absolutely going to be an emotional rider yet again. But hey. Yeah, hi. I'm gonna continue with the story a little bit. Ghost Frontline player? Well, I mean, yes, you see the game right here. Like, it's like right here. You might not recognize it, but that is Angie, and that is the Earl of Ghost Frontline. We've been sitting in the cutscene for a few minutes now. A while. Because of the things happening, but hey. I'm gonna get back to it. There's something for everyone, Beru. That's... yeah. The White Faction's such is evident in everything that has transpired in the last few months. They have been inciting the people and sowing civil unrest. How the boys? There aren't many. There are none that you can get. But there are many side characters and story characters that are boys. Like Jay, Kay, Kruger, Griffin, the Commander himself. And in Ghost Frontline 2, I have no idea. I haven't played the game yet. I believe that when the time is right, they will make use of this unrest to cripple Berlin. I'm gonna ignore that line that you just wrote for my own sanity. In the hope of preventing an outcome that they do not desire. An outcome that they don't desire. This has something to do with you. There will be an important meeting. The man picks up his glass. He seems to have no intention of elaborating. What's the source of this information? The information is supplied by a private source with very high credibility. However, that's the best I can do. The specific time, location, personnel, the other details of the attack are for you to investigate. Is this all the help you're giving me? I will also provide you with other forms of aid to the best of my ability. Actually, I've already done it. You persuaded the government to support me. Hell happen. That is a statement, not a question. So where should I begin? To launch a terrorist attack in Berlin, explosives won't work. It has to be with some kind of new weapon that cannot be detected. A weapon that we are both familiar with. A familiar weapon. Pollen dirty ones. You want me to investigate Leon? Just 2 days ago, she was escorted to Berlin in secret. She is most definitely connected to this matter. I have a question. What is it? The mansion. You must know where it is. Tell me. This is irrelevant. You know I will not give in. The man lets out a sigh and shakes his head. Once you've settled this business in Berlin, I will give you the location of the mansion. Deal. Learn to pick your battles, Agent. Sort out your priorities. I'm still a bit skeptical about what you said, but I will look into it using my own methods. I don't care about your own methods. I just want results. So is that it? You're washing your hands of this now that you've dumped it onto my lap. I'm a busy man, Agent. The battle I'm fighting in a place that you can't see is currently in a critical stage. That said, I have nevertheless prepared a little surprise for you. Surprise? An old friend of yours is en route with the support and intelligence you need. You may have been going at it in different directions, but I assure you, you are both working towards the same goal. Besides, I'm sure you'll be very happy with this reunion. Who is it? The young commander working for Kruger. Andrew raises an eyebrow. Should have known. It's backup that you summoned after all. I look forward to a fruitful cooperation. You'd better not be wasting my time. I will keep you up to speed if my private source reports any new updates. Also, I suggest you leave through the back door. Things are a bit chaotic at the front entrance. The man pushes the gold coin across the table to Angie. She glances at it and pockets it promptly. Thanks. The man taps the armrest on his chair again before getting up and heading towards another door without a word. 1 minute after his departure, the pub becomes as quiet and empty as a tomb. Well, Athena's owl. Angie pushes open the door and leaves a boisterous place behind. Now that she knows the busy and lively scene was all a sham, she finds it rather sickening. The gold coin weighs heavily in her pocket, signifying that everything that just happened was real. Now she must hurry back to her apartments, discuss how to proceed with Task Force Defy. Go, Angie. While Angie is still deep in thought, someone calls her name softly from next to her. Almost out of reflex, Angie pulls back and executes a kick. The kick produces such a loud noise that Angie thinks she kicked the sandbag. But the brief exchange is all it takes for her to take in her interceptor. 1 second, please. Since her first kick didn't do the job, Angie delivers the second one without a pause. Oh. The man seems to have expected Angie's attack and nimbly sidesteps it, causing her kick to miss a second time. But then she isn't phased either. Her alloy's fist smashed into a brick wall. If this punch had landed in a person, they would have been hospitalized for months. Backed up against the wall with a small crater mere inch away from his ear, the young man looks a little unnerved. But Angie could see that he didn't make the slightest attempt to dodge a punch just now. He knew, with absolute certainty, that Angie would not hit him, so he did not even flinch. Who are you? The man drops the arm he used to block against Angie's first kick and looks at her apologetically. I saw that kick coming, but that was more powerful than I'd anticipated. You really are formidable. He speaks in a perfectly even tone, neither humble nor haughty. Despite being at Angie's mercy, he shows no sign of panic. Answer my question, or the next punch will smash your brains out. You are not one to murder innocent people, Frau Julia. I can make an exception today. And you are anything but innocent, not to mention rude. Pardon me. I haven't even introduced myself. As you can see, I'm a Stasi agent. Angie's brow furrows. Only then does she notice that this man doesn't look older than 20. What does the Stasi want with me now? Don't tell me you want to send me back to lock me up for a few more days. No, that's not it. In fact, light blinks, the very image of innocence. I'm here to help you. Welcome back. Angie, are you alright? Angie catches the sight of her two familiar subordinates the moment that she enters the temporary ops room. She frowns as she shifts her gaze from the dolls to the man sitting in front of the monitors. You've brought my subordinates here. What's the big idea, Jay? Hey, don't give me that murderous look, eh? It took a lot of work to pull these Defy ladies out from among the rioting mob and gather them all, you know? We found this place ourselves. Did you have to expose me straight away? Thanks for the work, Jay. The young man follows Angie into the room and... didn't mean to click. The young man follows Angie into the room and greets Jay politely before turning to address the Defy dolls. As per agreement, I have delivered Frau Juliet safely to you. Well done. If you'd taken another minute, our leader would have clawed her way out through the roof. Well, explain. There's nothing much to explain. When we got separated from you in the crowd, we immediately realized it would be extremely difficult to regroup. So we changed strategies and decided to track down those who were monitoring us instead. That's how you found this place. It didn't take much effort. After all, they still knew exactly where we were under those circumstances. It was either GPS trackers or having a high vantage point. Once we understood that, it wasn't difficult figuring out the rest. When we got here, we found out that Mr. J was the one in charge of this operation. He told us that you were safe and had us wait here while he sent someone to fetch you. 12 refused to cooperate at first and threw a tantrum. It was kind of noisy, but then we got used to it. It wasn't that noisy. I don't trust them. Jay did a decent job in Bremen, but ensuring Angie's safety is my top priority. I only agreed to wait because I believed in Angie. So, have you had your meeting? How did it go? I got some information and possible leads. At the very least, I now have some idea about what to do. So you're the aide that he promised. Angie eyes lighten Jay, her gaze moving back and forth between them until finally settling on Jay. Are you in any shape to help? Your injuries look pretty bad. What a spar, Wardmaid? I don't know what you're talking about, but we are indeed under official order to aid you. It took us some time, but we eventually managed to take over this operation. Now Light and I are in charge of keeping tabs on you. In other words, you can move around freely in Berlin. So who exactly was he, Angie? The Earl. Angie fishes out the gold coin from her pocket and rubs the intricate markings with her thumb. A glistening griffin is etched onto the coin. Or should I say, Griffin Leonce. You mean that Griffin? The Griffin in Griffin and Kruger? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's him in the flesh. I don't want to work for him. I don't work for him, but he's very close with the Zelensky and old Misha. I can't tell if he can be trusted, but at the very least, he's on our side. So, never mind, I didn't hear anything. What happens next is none of my business. Lights, Motherfucker. Sorry about that. Right, I'm leaving you in charge of everything. Me? You, duh. Kay sent me, a poor injured man, here while he himself stayed behind in Bremen, having the time of his life. Not that he expected I would have to work in the field. In any case, I'll leave this in your capable hands. You haven't asked for my opinion. Well, any objections? He doesn't look old enough to drink. He may be young, but he's the most exceptional up-and-coming agent in the Stasi. You've seen what he's capable of, haven't you? He's been commanding the operation to monitor you single-handedly. I didn't do anything. So he's been wasting his exceptional talent on spying on us. If I were you, I'd have already started investigating William's movements in Berlin. If you hadn't been wasting precious time, I would have tracked down Leon and the others by now. I looked into it for you, Julia. What? I don't know what your current objective is, but before I came to Berlin, I took over the investigation you were conducting in Bremen and followed through with the remaining leads. I've recorded everything in detail and compiled profiles. Concerning the culprits in arresting Bremen, Leon, Hobbs, and Powell. He's telling the truth, Angie. I read them. You read them? I couldn't very well just sit here and wait, could I? The three of them have been transported to Berlin for imprisonment. But you're not going to believe this. Leona was released due to mental illness. She's now living quite a cushy life at the sanatorium. Still in Berlin, obviously. According to my investigation, everything about Leona's release was highly dubious. I suspect the person of authority pulled some strings to protect her, but I have no other clues for the time being. Explain the situation to me in detail. Yes, Mum. Wait, hold on. You're not planning to have this conversation here, are you? This really isn't the greatest spot, so I suggest you guys take this somewhere else. After all, you're free to go anywhere now. I agree, Angie. Surely you have a lot to discuss with us. About your conversation with the Earl? Alright, let's go back to the apartment then. I'll come with you. And I'll pass. The protagonist shall retreat behind the scenes for now. Young people should be given the time to shine every now and then. Isn't that right, Light? Now that you're back in your hometown, don't forget to make the time to visit your... Let's go, Cornelia. Sure. Angie glanced at the youth with delicate features. He's young, brave, remarkable, and ambitious, just like her when she was young. But just for a brief second. His face overlaps with Moreno's in her mind. Now, looking at the time, I do actually have to end the stream for today. Since, you know, work tomorrow and all. So, let me quickly see who I can raise for today. I'm pretty sure someone will be live. Thank you everyone for being here today already. So I'm just getting this ready. Let us go and say... Wow, it really is only one person. But let's go and say hi to Susan, who's currently playing Blasphemous. Which I think was like a 2D Souls-like, if I remember correctly. No, that's actually a completely different game. I have no idea. Oh, is that it? I don't know, man. I'm just gonna send you over there. It'll be fine. Call him a nerd. And I will be back tomorrow with, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, some Jagged Alliance 3 together with Sleepers. It'll be fun. 2D Souls would be Soul and Sanctuary. I honestly don't know what this game is. It's a Metroidvania mode, like. Yeah, possible. I just don't know the game, honestly. Like, genuinely. Don't know the game. Let's just go say hi to San and call him a nerd, and that's all. Have a good night. Thank you very much for being here. Take care.